welcome to this video. This is the continuation of the C# beginner series. Previously, we had looked at lists in C#. In case you did miss that video, I do encourage us to go back and watch that video before continuing with this. So, dictionaries in C#, what are they? So, the dictionary is a collection type that stores key value pairs, and the second point is that it allows for quick access to data. These are the two basic differences we have between a dictionary and a list. Whereas a list is a series of consecutive numbers, let's say index 0, index 1, index 2, a dictionary is not like that. A dictionary doesn't really index the same way an array indexes. So you notice for an array, you index by maybe number. So index 0, index 1, index 2, something like that. In dictionary, you can actually index with anything. So let's look at this with an example. So, we said that a dictionary is a key value pair. So there is a key and there is a value. So the way we declare a dictionary, so let's just call this dictionary. The way we declare a dictionary is by using this new dictionary, and you can say the type. So let's say we want an integer. So what this means is you are saying that you are creating a dictionary that has the key as the integer and the value will be a boolean. So what does this mean? So the way a dictionary looks is something like this. Imagine we have this box. Imagine we have something like this. Let's just say this is the bounds of our dictionary. So we could have a key, maybe 1, and the value is true. So this is basically the structure of a dictionary. Whereas a list or array, they are just like this. They will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just different. They could have items. This is the structure of an array or a list. But for a dictionary, it has a key and it has a value. So whereas for list, when you want to index it, you just index it from 0, 1, 2, 3. So those are like the keys for list and array. The keys in that sense are like the indexes. Index 0, index 1, 2, 3. This will be index 5. This is index 6, index 7, for example. And that is how a list or array, that's how they work. But for dictionary, the key will be what will define what the index is. So for example, since I'm using integers here, it means that this integer 1 will be the index and then the value will be true. So what this means is that even if this was a string, now it means that my index could be string like this, or my index could be boy. And when you want to get your data from dictionary, so for example, let me just clear all of this out. So if I wanted to get the data from my dictionary, all I just needed to do is the index, and then this is how I'll get the data from my dictionary. Basically, just like in your array, that you will have done something like this, and you will have done something like in your index 0, for example, or index 1. For dictionary, basically it's just that your index is defined by what the key is. So the key here is a string. So it means that it will be expecting whatever index you permit me to use, what index you use, to be a string. So in the case of a dictionary, if you want to put in data into a dictionary, you use like the string, like the list rather, you use the add. But because it's a key value pair, it means the key, because we have specified that the key is going to be a string and the value is a boolean, it means that a, for example, and then my value is true. So what this means is that anytime I ask for what is in index A, I want you to return true. That's basically what you're saying. So let me just add a couple, and let's say this is false. Let's have this 2 for now. So this is our dictionary, and we are saying that, okay, within this dictionary I have index A and I have index baby. Those are keys. We call those keys for our dictionary. Whereas the true or the false is the value, because we have specified that it's going to be of Boolean type. So if I wanted to get the data for baby, for example, I could just say data for baby, and I could just say in my dictionary, I just wanted to get what is in index baby, or what has this key called baby. And that's just basically what we'll do. So if I come here and I console write line and I say data for baby, and we look at what this comes with, let's run this, we will see that what we have is actually what it will return, which is the data for baby at index baby. What do we have as our data? False. And you see it returns a false. So basically this is the dictionary in C#. Now, because this, like a list, because the index must be unique. So for example, in a list you can only have one index 0. There is no multiple indexes. Like you can't have index 1 occurring twice in our list or in our array. All indexes are always different. So in the same way, our dictionary expects unique keys. So what that means is I cannot do this. I can't come here and I say dictionary. If I try to run this now, this will throw an error. So let's just try that and see that it does throw an error. And you see it throws an error because it says, and the error is an item with the same key has already been added. Key A is already existing somewhere. Somehow A has already been added as a key, and it sees that as a problem, because when it wants to now get what is an index A, it doesn't know what will be the correct item in index A. So that is why when you are working with dictionary, you check to see if it exists already. And how do you check? So we have this dictionary dot contains key, and what this does is, so for example, this will check if it contains A, for example, and we could, so this returns true or false. So it will tell you if it contains it or if it does not contain it. So for example, if I want to check this, with our listener, I would just say if this dictionary contains A, then I want to do some, if it does not contain A, so I use the not operator. So if this dictionary does not contain A, then I now want to go and add, I want to go ahead to add A and false. That's what I want to do. And if we run this now, this will not be a problem because it is checking to see if it exists before it tries to add it. And if it does not have it, then it now adds it. So if I come here and let me change this to A, and you see for this scenario, because A already exists, when it checks that does A exist and it finds out that A does really exist, it doesn't add this. So it goes ahead and we are getting the data from A, so that is going to be true. So if we run this now, we should be expecting true as our data response, which is what we see here. But if I say, let me just comment this line out and we run this again, you see this time around is false, because when it gets to 52 here, this line, and it's checking does it contain A, it says no, it doesn't contain A. So since it doesn't contain A, and it's now going to come and add A to it, and for what we want to add, we are saying A should be false. And basically that's what the system will do, which it will return false, as we see here. So basically that is something you need to take note of when you are working with dictionaries. The fact that because we are the one determining what the index will be, and the index can be anything, or the key can be anything, but they must be unique. Just like indexes in our list or arrays are always going to be unique, in the same way the index or the key for dictionary must rather always be unique. If it is not unique, it will then throw an error. Now, so let's say I wanted to change what was in A, for example. So what I could just do is I could just come to and say my dictionary at index A, I want to put, let's say I want to change it to true. So you see, previously it is false, but now I want to change it to true. And if we run this now, so we should see a true there, because this is how we update or change the data within a dictionary. Just like how we will change the data in within a list, we'll have just a list in index 0, or the array that we want to work with in index, whatever index we want to work in, and we put in the data there. In the same way, we could do that with dictionary. So another way we could create our dictionary is that when we come here, let me just say new dictionary. We could say new dictionary, and let's say we say string and we say boolean. What we could do is that we could say, for example, the key is going to be let me say boy, and I will say the value is true. This is another way you could say. So what this does is that you are saying you are creating a dictionary and you are putting in these values at the beginning to be the data within your dictionary. So you are saying that the key is going to be boy and then the value is going to be true. So let's say let me add a couple more in. Let's make this false, and this is basically how another way you could initialize or start up your dictionary in C#. So I hope this was clear, and I also want to just say that when you want to add something in your dictionary, one new way you could do that is you could just have at index, let's say C, and let's have true to be that, and this will not throw an error. So what this will do is, if it does not exist, it will actually go ahead to add it to your dictionary. So if I come here now and I change this to CO, if I change to CO and we run this now, oh, sorry, I was trying to add it here, sorry, I was trying to console log it rather. So if we change this to CO and we run this, we will see that what we get back is true, because we have set our CO to true. So what this does is it checks if it exists, it updates it, but if it does not exist, it adds it. So it means that rather than having all this if and else checking if it exists or not, you could just simply just say put the item in the index of the item you are trying to create or update, and just set the value. And in the case where it exists, it will update it, and if it does not exist, it will create it. So this will be the approach I will expect us to use when we want to add to the dictionary or update to the dictionary, as opposed to this. But if you go with this also works fine, provided you understand the implications of that. I hope this was clear, and I hope that we understand now how a dictionary works. Also, you will notice that if we go back to our slide, that we said that the dictionary allows for quick access to data. We will explain that in the next video, where we will contrast between the list and dictionary and see why the dictionary is used in what specific scenarios, and in what specific scenario, sorry, it is used. I hope this was very educative, and I will see us in the next video.